Welcome back, my Jedi friends. And then today we're going to discuss your story. And are you bored telling it? Are you bored telling it? Now, if you're leading a wonderful life and everything seems to be working, it's all going to flow, then you don't need to watch this video. There you go. Turn it off. If not, then let us explain. We're going to talk about energy, how your story impacts your energy, and how to change it if you need to, or to keep it exactly the same way that it's going if you want, my Jedi friends. But what I'm going to do today is to bring awareness to our thoughts, our energy, and our story, and how those three align and how if things are not going entirely to plan, then it may be that you are a factor, that your thoughts are a factor, and that your story is a factor in this. So let's explore. Let's explore. Come here, my Jedi friends. Let us explore your story and where your head. Where's your head at, folks? Where's your head at? Where is your head at? Where's your head at, my Jedi friends? Are you caught in a story, a seductive story that explains clearly why you're not getting what you want? Are you ready to change it? Are we ready for a bit of magic? Are we ready to energize something else? So, to my regulars, you'll know a few of the things that I talk about in this video, if not all of them, because we're going to discuss the concept of secondary gain here. Everyone has a story, and our story is either a weapon or an excuse or a catalyst. Now, which is it? Which is it, folks? Is it a catalyst or is it an excuse? And some people will use their story as an excuse, and some people will use it as a catalyst. And two people having exactly the same experience or something very similar experience can do either or. So there's certain people out there that have had a really shit life. In fact, there's quite a lot of people out there. In fact, if you're watching this, you've probably, in many respects, had a bit of a shit life. So people have had shit lives, really shit stuff has happened to you. There's a school of thought, and you don't have to subscribe to this, that all of your challenges, they forge you for who you are. In exactly the same way that a vaccine or a snake bite will build up your immunity, that every time we get bitten, every time we get stung, our body gets stronger. Our body is exposed to a different toxin, so it gets stronger. It's the principle. That's the physiological principle of immunology. We become immune. Now, people that have never been bitten by a snake or never had a mosquito bite or never had any of that thing, they might consider themselves lucky. But in that case, they could both be in the same environment, in the same time, the same place, be bitten by the same mosquito, and one, it will be water off a duck's back, and the other one could get critically ill. And it's the same with life and with energy and our story, folks. All of the shit that's happened. Some people develop resilience, and others develop a persecution complex and a weaponization of the story. In that this was so bad that happened to me, I'm never going to get over it. And they go around taking scalps of every person that tries to help them. This is a concept called secondary gain. And secondary gain is when that you're not overly motivated to get the positive change. And if anyone ever challenges you to get positive change, you use your story as a reason why you can't. And I know a lot of people like this, folks. A lot of people. Now, I'm not saying it's you. And I'm not saying that even if you do this, that it's even a conscious decision. You might genuinely not want it, but you're caught in this loop. It's a convenient loop. You're energizing the wrong thing. And not only that, if you haven't learned to release family dynamics from your energy system, you may be caught in the same loop as your family, as your parents, as their parents before that. That genetics can pass down energetically through the story, through the belief system, through stuff that we're told. So ask yourself this, folks. When people start asking you about your life, how it's been forged, what challenges you've had, what are the stories that you tell on repeat? Now, for people that watch the channel, you'll know that I air a lot of my dirty laundry. I tell you my story and I tell you the people that piss me off and I tell you how I deal with it or not, as the case may be. That's not for me to judge. It's not for me to judge. Is my life perfect? Absolutely not, folks. But I also appreciate that we need to be continuously challenged. We need to top up our immunity. We need to test our resilience. And that just because you deal with some shit doesn't mean that you're immune from other shit. But what it does mean is that there will be a certain level of resilience to deal with whatever the future has to hold. Because we're constantly getting tested in new ways. And I do believe that, my Jedi friends. But ask yourself, I certainly know this for people who have things that are ongoing, like hypertension, weight issues, diabetes. All of these learn from the same thing, taking on board other people's energy and not realizing we're carrying it, especially for people that are highly sensitive, people that work with energy, people that help others. Are quite frequently overweight because they don't understand the energy dynamic of taking on energy versus releasing it. And these are things that we've talked about on this channel at length, so I'm not going to go into it on this video. But what I am going to say is that some people will use their story, their drama, their history as an excuse, and some people will use it as a catalyst. And if you don't know how to identify the difference and to call it out if you need to, then that's how we put on weight. That's when healers try and heal the wrong people. That's when good people get fucked by not so good people pretending that they want good. This happens quite a lot, my Jedi friends. And if you don't learn to distinguish the difference between people that are using their story as a weapon, as a protective mechanism, as an excuse, versus those that have a terrible story that want to use it as a catalyst, that are ready to use it as a catalyst, that want to improve their life, then you'll end up taking on board shit energy. And worse still, you'll beat yourself up for not being able to help them. When in actual fact, they don't want to be helped, folks. They don't want to be helped. And that's why I'm talking about this today, because this is so important and so many people fall in this trap. So many good people fall in this trap. These are the people that are dying on the battleground, and some do want to be saved, and others, well, there's no chance. There's absolutely no chance. All you're going to do is get shot in the process. And this is what happens to a lot of good people. The practically minded ones that don't care as much will just leave them behind and not engage in their drama or their story. But the people that actually care will try and heal everyone. And if you're like me in my younger years, you'll think that everybody has a chance to be healed. Everybody wants to get better. Everybody deserves a better life. And yet, I didn't understand at that stage in my life that not everyone wants it. What people say and what they actually do, that's how you judge it. People's actions rather than their words is the litmus test for people that genuinely want change and people that don't. And this is why, are you going to be a victim or are you going to be a catalyst? That's the question, folks, that we all have to ask ourselves. And if you're telling your own story and bringing people down with the heavy duty shit, then think about why you're doing that. If you're telling your own story and there's an empowered learning at the end, great. But if you're looking to blame and cause pain to others because you haven't got over it, then that's the sort of stuff that's on your head, my Jedi friends. So, this aspect of story and what we really want, that's what we're talking about today. And whether that's identifying it in your own story or being aware of it when you're trying to help other people, this is a central and critical aspect to all health, healing, and well-being interventions. Some people say they want to be helped, they don't. Some people don't look like they can be helped, but they do. So learning the difference is where it's at, my Jedi friends. Learning the difference is where it's at. And that is not something that you can gain overnight, but the awareness of the dynamics that you're dealing with is. So how do you know that somebody is ready to be a catalyst? Is that they'll get they'll be suggestible to changes that they can make. They'll be proactive in taking solution focused event. And a lot of it is when we're stuck in our drama, folks, flushing things out, even the most challenging situation, even the most life devastating situation has a positive outtake, potentially, if you're prepared to dig deep enough. Loss of a loved one, um, injury, things that have happened to us, that they usually help us to build resilience. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, which sounds very corny and cliched, but that is generally it. Makes you a little bit more streetwise, makes you a bit smarter, makes you a bit aware the next time, puts new boundaries on you, makes you a little bit more uh, in tune with the energy of why we're here and what we're going to do about it. But most importantly of all, folks, in wanting to change others and not change ourselves, that's where most people get it horribly wrong. We have to change our own story first in order to get to the place where we're qualified to change everybody else's, which is why when we're working with energy, and this is a clear distinction, it's not about fixing anyone. It's not about fixing anyone. It's about fixing yourself, my Jedi friends. Focus on that and everything shifts. Now, if you focusing on that can help other people around you, there's the golden goose. There's the golden goose because some people will be on the same pathway as you and have the same lessons to go through, but be under no illusions, my Jedi friends. You will attract students that will help you to bring up your own stuff and to evolve with them. But making your energy dependent on their results, that's a fool's errand because some people are just not ready for it. And some people have to get worse before they get better, as we've discussed on other videos. And they may not see the benefit in that, and they may blame you for having to go through it as well and say that your intervention is not working. So there's lots of nuance within this, my Jedi friends, but it's all to do with your story and identifying whether you're a catalyst or an excuse. Which will it be, my Jedi friends? Which will it be? And just bringing this up will give you some food for thought to go off and reflect on it. If you want to share a comment, by all means do so. But I would hope that you will be able to take this information and either improve your own life, which is the main benefit that I'm hoping that you'll get out of it, or at least be aware of who is and isn't ready to be helped and have no attachment about their results. Have only attachment to your own, and you will feel better, my Jedi friends. And there it is. There is the little bombshell. Work on yourself, work on your own stuff, change your story. Change your story, you change your life. You change your story, you change your life. And there it is, my Jedi friends. You can change your life by changing your story, changing how you reflect on it. You will feel better. And you will subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And there's another little video there if you want another little piece of the jigsaw.